All right, you guys, so we've made it to our second stop in our Americus tour. I am now at Pat's Place, and I hear that it's a staple here in Americus, and I'm joined by the owner of Pat's Place, Mr. Pat himself. So thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Well, I'm great, and it's quite an honor to have you all here, and I'm number 2. Thank you very much.
It's awesome. All right, and so I want to talk about the history of Pat's Place because
Okay.
I hear nothing but great things about it. So tell me a little bit about how you got started here.
I was working for Social Security. I worked in Albany and I worked in Cordele, and I'd always wanted to have a business for myself, and this place came available. It had been called the Crust and Mug, and the people that owned it needed to get rid of it, and so I bought it, and that was in November or December of '79, and then we did a lot of work and got open on February 9th of 1980.
What I love most is the history that it holds.
Yeah.
It's so many things that you have highlighted here on your wall. So can you talk about that and why you started that tradition here?
Well, there are pictures around here that you can see where the walls were bare, and it's taken a long time to put these up, but they're newspapers that I had collected. This thing right here is a poster from Acme Oyster Bar in New Orleans that I got when I was down there one time. And then there are little pictures that are historical pictures from the archives, the state archives, like this one right here of the old clinic, I think.
Okay.
And they're all over the place. And then of course, there are pictures of customers, and there's a collage right there of St. Patrick's Day. And so I try to update those things, not nearly as often as I used to. But the walls, as you see, are covered. I've got so many that I have some backups in my office next door, and I try to rotate some in and out. We have people now that are the grandchildren of original customers that are adults that come in.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Awesome. All right, so Mr. Pat, what's your biggest event of the year?
St. Patrick's Day,
Okay.
by far. And there's an interesting story about that. My uncle was a Catholic priest, and he loaned me some money to help me get started in this. And he came up here sometime in February, late February of 1980, and he says, "You know, you ought to have a St. Patrick's Day party." And I said, "Uncle, I don't think that many people around here care anything about St. Patrick's Day." He said, "If you have a party, if you start a tradition, they'll come, and it will become a tradition." And boy, did it ever. It was the busiest day of that first year, and then every year after.
Yeah, well, Mr. Pat, all of this food talk has gotten me really hungry, so I'm super excited to try pizza.
Okay.
Pizza.